semester to find stuff, it's a big deal. There's so much stuff to know nowadays. So I'm on SPM 236 P1A. Right? So then when I see this on my external hard drive, when I see this on here, I'll know, oh, it's that project 1A for that class. And I'm definitely going to look at it during the summer, and I'm probably going to put it on to YouTube. It's already on YouTube, but whatever. I'm going to stick the video in that folder. So now this folder has the video in it. Now I'm going to open up Adobe Premiere Pro 2025 that's on these computers. Do note, it will probably update to Premiere Pro 2026 during the semester. Usually around March, I think is when they get the updates. It's like if you download Adobe Premiere, or if you download Adobe Cloud right now, it is already on 2026. But we have to wait a couple of months because we are a government service, so there's a lot of red tape and deals and whatnot. Money, it's always money. I'm opening this up. This will open up Adobe Premiere Pro. We're not using Premiere Rush, we're using Premiere Pro. It has all the tools. Premiere Rush is for like instant content. All right, now, if you've not made an Adobe account before, now is the time to do it. If you have, because you've had another class for this that has used Adobe, like if you've used Adobe Photoshop for like the photography class, or you took SPM 238, you can just sign in here with that account. If you haven't done it yet, I suggest using your own, like a Gmail account or something, because if you put in a Cortland account right here, it will check, Adobe will check to see if you're in one of the photography classes that have this as part of their tuition fee. And if you're not, it'll go, no, you can't have this, you're not in that class. So, the thing is weird, it's been like this for years, for about a decade, as long as I've been doing this class. So, I'm gonna put in my Gmail address that I have here. And I'm not using these things to log into it. I don't like it being automatic.
Yo, everyone in the chat, double tap your screen. I'm in class.
And it's gonna go and tell me to check my device. Hey, approve. So, because I do this so often, I have the Adobe Account Access app on my phone. If you are signing up for Adobe right now, it's not a bad way of doing it. Otherwise, you have to receive a text or something like that, and I have the little app. It made my life easier. But I want to be able to get into Adobe, and I do use it pretty often. I do video classes, and sometimes I pre-record lecture bits and like homework help and whatnot. And also just for fun.
Yo, everyone, I'm in
my
class.
son
Everyone double
did
tap your
some
screen.
like animation stuff and like with like
And hit the subscribe
do
button.
some stuff in tracking, some stuff.
You will know to use Adobe
Yeah,
and
because you're already using
OBS.
it for fun. You can come in
That's
here
like
and
a
use
good
this
class.
pod whenever it's open. You're allowed to do that.
I'm gonna learn
This is
how to
also not
stream,
the only
guys,
pod
in this
on campus
class.
that has the Adobe products in it. So it's more convenient up campus. There's a couple of them, which you can look up
This
which
is Adobe
rooms have
Premiere,
Adobe
and then
Premiere.
it also has OBS.
in my Red Dragon. Tab,
Everyone double
student
tap the
section, I
screen.
think. You can actually look for Tech Hub. You can see it. You can actually search up what rooms have it. So, quite a few. Pretty easy. One of them hours. It's a smaller pod, I thought. I've never been. I'm just down here all the time. So are we all getting to this spot? Are we all getting to here? This is going to be pretty easy. We're going to put it into a new project. We're going to name that project. we're gonna direct that project to the folder that we just made on the desktop. We're gonna put our video in there. And then we're gonna export it. Pretty much just that. Because I need you to go through this process at least once. And although I do have a lot of people who are returning students to me, I still gotta deal with people who have not had a chance to do this yet. Alright, so I have my folder on the desktop. I have
Everyone double
Adobe
tap your screen.
Premiere Pro 2025 loaded up. I signed in. I use the two-factor authentication to get into here. I'm going to click on New Project. New Project. It's going to ask me for a project name. Let's name it. SPM 236 P1A. It's going to ask where you want to save it. If it goes here, users, your name, documents, Adobe Premiere Pro 25. What happens when I log off this computer? What happens?
It deletes.
It deletes. How deleted is it?
Very much deleted.
So much deleted. It's so freaking gone, and it does not come back. We got to tell it where to save. Do not allow it to do what it wants to do. You control it, not the other way around. I'm going to click on this location and choose a location. I'm choosing the desktop in this folder that I made on the desktop. Open. It's going to save inside this folder. Save. We aren't using any templates. I'll show them to you real quick if you want to see them going. It's got all these different kinds of templates. This is actually pretty useful if, so later in the semester you're all going to be making some YouTube shorts. And if you find the short goes on too long, like you just have to physically do a lot of stuff. So like one of them was, I was setting up a tripod, and I was doing the short, and I found I took too long doing it. I actually threw it into here and used the social media template to use Adobe to trim the short down from the 5 minutes that it was down to 3 minutes. So it fit into a short. Same thing with Reels, Facebook and Instagram are Reels, TikTok. Right. We're going to be utilizing YouTube exclusively in this, but know that they're all basically the same. And if you have a social media class, then you probably want to learn how to engage with all of them. But if you do the base thing, and this is, if you look at any professional content, anybody who's a really big content creator on any of the social media platforms, they throw through this first. This specifically. They almost all exclusively utilize Adobe. When you're starting out, you might use some CapCut, but this just has so many functions and make professional materials. I can do all sorts of corrections to stuff. And it's starting to get some AI tools that allow me to do more corrections and beautifying whatever. So, but I'm not using any templates right now. I don't need a template. This is really simple stuff. I'm gonna click create. Just think about it. Okay. I gotta do some stuff. It is showing me the sample media. I don't need any of this sample media. The sample media is fine. If you want to sit down and learn how to use Adobe, like you just have some spare time and you're really curious, you can just open Adobe. It has tutorials built into it, and you can use the sample media to do that. But I'm going to go to the desktop over here, and there's my folder, and I will check the corner right here to have it select the entire folder and everything inside of it. All right, so now it has my media. I'm going to look at the import settings on the right-hand side of the screen. I don't need it to organize the media, so that's cool. I don't need it to copy the media, because I'm actually having it access it. But I don't want it to really create a new sequence. I don't want it to do that. Create new sequence, actually, this is almost the application for it. Just takes all the videos that you put into that folder and dumps them onto the timeline according to their file name. So like it'll be one after another, based on what the file name is, alphabetically. Starts at A, well, I guess it starts at 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then A through Z. Okay. I don't want that on. I'm turning that off. I don't want to do creative music. I'm not having it do automatic transcription. When we get to the voiceovers in Adobe, we're going to do the transcription. Because you will have a script, so it'll be fine. And there's no reason for it to do media analysis, honestly. I don't think these computers can honestly handle it. It adds so much more effort to it. It uses AI to kind of figure out what you do. It's not a terribly bad thing to use on your own if you have a good computer, but these are not it.
That's me. That's me to come back.
Okay, so I've got this. I'm clicking import. Just think about it. There it goes. Okay. Here I am in Adobe. If this is your first time looking at Adobe, it is a little overwhelming. It's got lots of buttons. It's got lots of boxes. They've got things in them. The thing I need to do first, when I'm using a project, actually the thing you'll always need to do every single time you come into the room and load up an Adobe project, is I gotta change it from learning mode to editing mode. So, this time I will tell you, but next time we do this, I'm gonna ask you what it is. You gotta answer. I'm gonna go up here to the Workspaces button and click it, and it will drop down. So these are all the different ways that Adobe can present itself to you. Certain ones turn off certain features. We don't want it to be in learning mode because it turns off a whole bunch of stuff. Like you can't do animations, you can't add in keying or special effects. You can't do all the stuff that can kind of correct if the audio is bad or the video is bad. So I want to be in editing. I want to be there, editing mode. What that does is it closes the learning panel. Come on, do it. There we go. It closes the learning panel. And it opens up the properties of whatever clip, whatever graphic that you've added into it. Let that happen. This is what we really want to see when we're editing Adobe, in Adobe. When we're editing a video, when we're editing audio, we can edit audio in here as well. So now I got very simple stuff. Here's my video. There it is, right there. I'm going to take this video, click and drag and drop it into the timeline. Do that. Real easy to do. Whoop, bam. Drag it in there. Right? Okay. Now, I guarantee you got a little extra unnecessary video at the beginning and the end of doing this project. You'll always have that. That's good. You want extra video. Whenever you're recording, you want to start a good 10 seconds before you do anything. It's nice to count it down. In the SPM 238 class, we were taking videos of people standing still so we could have the different distances from the camera and different actions and whatnot. And you had to call out, this is project 2 for whoever, shot number 5, medium close, take 1, 3, 2, 1, action. All that extra time. Because you can't add in, but you can take away. We can remove extra video, but we can't add in extra video. Not quite. We're almost there with AI that we can kind of spoof it, but that's not the point. The point is to have so much extra video that you can just trim out the parts that you don't need. Also, that's where all the bloopers happen. All the funny stuff happens in the cut and then people lose their shit. Or you're being goofballs beforehand and you go, hey, 3, 2, 1, and they kind of form themselves up and start like behaving properly. That's where all the funny things happen. So you want to get that stuff. Hit record before you told anyone you said that you hit record. That was a Jim-ism for you. That's not bad. Jim Fortune. Hit record is already done. Okay, so here I have my video in the timeline. I got my video here in the timeline. And I gotta get rid of, like, where is it? It's right about here. Right about, I'm gonna get closer. Right there, okay. So I need to trim this down. This is where this actually starts. I gotta trim this bit off right here. So I'm gonna do that by grabbing the razor tool and pulling it over here and putting it onto the playhead down here in the timeline. And you can see, when I bring the razor tool close to the playhead, it sort of snaps onto it, like that. I'm going to click it to drop a cut. Then I can go back to the selector tool and click on the extra bit that I have right here to select it, and then I can press delete on my keyboard, and it deletes it. You try that. Get rid of the extra bit. I can also delete blank space. I can click on a blank space and delete it, and it will move everything over. That's called ripple delete. Cool. So you can trim up your video a little bit. Put a cut right there. Do that. See, I'm just trimming up, whoop, removing the excess stuff. And for whatever reason, I can't hear anything. Maybe you'll have better luck than me. Is this off? Is that just muted? No, it's up. This is on. Maybe mute this to be quiet. And also, oh, yep, there we go. That was just quiet. I'm going to reduce the sound a bit. Nice and stable. My arms are resting on the back of the chair. I can also do like
$40 like Florida.
No, not just for me.
Not like the Boston.
So,
It's expensive. Like,
see, this is how you trim this stuff. You just do this. Select bits that you don't want and delete them. Elbow, elbow, is my body is in the chair. Nice and stable. I also throw myself up against the wall.
Wait, is this project two?
Yep, this is project one.
Oh.
This is project one. I'm just editing
Project 2.
my little video right here.
Toolbar.
these are the 5 keys. Editing this video down a little bit.
I'm gonna lose so much money in one year.
Put myself up against the wall by putting my shoulders in the one foot out, 1 foot.
No, you just need to post them.
3 points up.
What?
So now my body is in that.
Yeah, yeah.
Out in front of you. That way my breath doesn't take the camera right at all. And I bring all my body into the door, all behind me. If you got a door, though, you can put yourself in a doorway. Like this. Put your shoulder into the door in, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And now, over my head, again, really stable. Those are the 5 keys to get a good video. And I can trim off the end as well. And there we go. So I trimmed it down a little bit. I only used a couple of little things. Put it in there. I'm using the pointy tool. I'm using the razor tool. Yes.
I don't want to do it wrong, but like this cone. So I did get most of my video into this.
What's inside there? Aha. You have to get your video into that folder. I didn't see it. Yes. Get the video into the folder and then reinsert it.
Trying to take this folder. Comes in here, but it shows by the cone. I just like the video. Yeah.
So that's in there. It's actually in there. Because that's exactly defined. Nope. That's, you're just watching.
We should do a wide.
The cone is VLC media. So why is it?
Who should I ask? Ruby?
Cone is an interesting file.
Oh, maybe.
What brother is it? Top 500 players.
Unmodified original.
Playing PC, like playing computer, like with modern, it's just like some.
Yeah.
Switch. Yeah, it's just a switch.
Directly to.
Speak for next year. People have lights by LED building.
Start. This is where we get it.
That's like Chris's.
Already hooked up to that. Here.
This is the script. We would use this script. Yeah. 1 minute. This is
Currently, this does not see.
Stuff. Lights by LED. He's on the mobile.
That guy. There we are. Import.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh my gosh. There we go.
That's good.
So, I implore you to try out the trimming tool. Right, so this is the one that selects things, this is the one that trims things. We want to trim out all the excess, like, weird spots. The little extra at the beginning, the little extra at the end. Just get it down to this. Unlike the SPM 238 class, because that's really about making production media, This is a little more social media-esque. We're not gonna put the bars and tone at the beginning of this. If you're at this spot, where you have trimmed it down, and it's all left aligned, it's completely up to the beginning of the video clip. Right, so it starts at 0. Right? No spaces in it or anything, it's all nice and over there. We're gonna export. So I can go click on export. It's gonna ask me, what do I want to call it? This is SPM 236. 236. Project 1A.
TS is correct.
And then please put your name on it. My name is Andrew Jackson. What's yours? You put your name on it. It's going to ask me where I want to store this. Yes, it's going to the right spot. Desktop, SPM 236 P1A. That's right. That's where I want it to go.
Actually, I fucking let's go to that.
It's the entire source. It is scaled to fit. Good. Is it scaled to fit?
Never forget the fried
One day we did. TS missed it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, TS is got. Oh, I'm down to 270.
Jackson.
Well, like 229.
Entire source, scaled to fit. Export. Alrighty. It's exporting now. Rendering it up. Then we'll look at the second part of Project 1, introductory podcast thing. All this does that.
Bucket list of places I went. What is one this bucket list of places I've been to? Sorry.
Oh, that does that. I can go ahead and
You have your own private classes in elementary school year.
What?
You have your own private classes in elementary school year. I'm not just gonna spot myself. One thing that I get to stay in once and one time only. Actually, maybe twice. When I was there.
Work, video. Create, upload video. Okay. I'm gonna let that save, and I can now upload from the desktop Project 1A. Okay. Okay. When you upload this, you need to put in the description the 5 keys to getting good video on a mobile device. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This video shows the 5 keys to getting good video on mobile device. 1, whatever it is, 2, 3, 4, 5. You fill in those blanks. I gotta do some settings down here. So, it is not made for kids, but it is not age restricted. This is on the website too, but I'm going through it right now. There are no paid promotions. There is no altered content. We're not doing any AI altered content. We're not going to make anybody say something they didn't say. I'm not inviting any collaborators. I am now allowing no automatic trackers and emails and stuff. Not automatic places, don't let it know where you are. Or automatic concepts. We have some tags that we need to get in here. So we do have SPM 236. We have SUNY Portland with sport management. And another one. There's 4 of them. Let's see if I can remember everything right now. It'd be great. Intro to streaming, that's what it was. That's our 4. That's what we're putting in the tags here. It's on my website too. I can't remember it. It's there. Yeah. All right, video language is English. And it's United States English, because that's the mumbling that I do. I'm not going to give it recording date and location. I'm not going to allow it to embed, or I don't need to publish the subscription feed and notify my subscribers. I'm not allowing remixing. Do not allow remixing. This is especially necessary if your subject, the person you recorded, is female. The internet is full of awful people. Don't feed the trolls. Do not allow remixing. The category is educational. This is educational. The type is a how-to. Academic system, United States. Level, college. No exam course or standard put onto this. And I'm turning off the comments, and I don't really care how many people like to do it. Turn off the comments. Again, do not feed the trolls. Do not let people be awful. Don't let them. Also bots. You're likely to get tons of stupid bots on there. Click next. I don't need any of this stuff. I'm going to click next. There's no copyright issues. I'm going to click next. This is public. I'm publishing it. And yeah, there we go. Hey, look, there it is. SPM 236, project 1A, and then my name. Yes.
Could you go back to that details page? Yes.
You can go back to the details page anytime you like as well, because after you click publish, you can click on this and go back to it. So what would you need?
Mainly just the bottom stuff.
It's mostly, don't allow assholes to use your content. Okay? Comments are off. United States, college level education, how to. Yeah. Again, these are on my website here as well. And you can come back and change stuff on these. Notice though, there is an editor, and we will use that for the next piece of this project. We will use this editor. Okay. Cool. I did that one. Right. This thing I want to save. I'm going to put it onto my external hard drive, but I want to do a different thing right this second. I need to switch over to the next item. So the next item is this. Your homework for this weekend. You're going to do Project 1B Introductory Podcast. This podcast is going to need to be about 2 minutes long. Record more than 2 minutes. Get more than 2 minutes worth. We can edit it down. Remember, we can take out. We can't add back in. You gotta be able to have a little extra. We can trim off the beginning, we can trim off the end. Do a little trimming in the middle. The YouTube Nation editor isn't great, so once you trim something out, it doesn't want to put it back on.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
figured out the hard way.
Yeah, me too. But it does do a couple things, and one of the things it does is it can blur stuff. So we can use it to like blur people's faces or like license plates or street addresses. Super useful if you're doing video and you're gonna put it onto the internet. You don't really want always some stuff to show. You don't want people to know where you are physically. That's a good idea. So being able to do that is really useful. It can also add music. We can add music to it directly into YouTube, and it can be the copyright-free music. We're gonna do that as well. Because why not? Why wouldn't you? It's interesting, it's fun, and the fact that you can have a podcast right now, today, and immediately start doing it, that's super cool. And I hope you can really enjoy that. So, this is a little spiel on the setup for it. This is what I would like you to be able to do. I want you to consider these factors. I gotta turn all the lights on. I want you to turn all the lights on. Wherever you're gonna do this, you need to turn those lights on. You need as much light as possible. I'm gonna take this mask off because I'm gonna be over here so I don't get to hear you. Careful, take it off so I don't take the hearing aids off. Okay. Okay. So one of the things that you really need to be considerate of when you're doing recordings of you talking to a camera or doing a podcast and you have your talent at desks like we have and microphones and everything, is being able to see them. And our human eyes play a lot of tricks on us. Because when I had the lights down, you could see me just fine, and I could see you just fine. Yeah, it was fine. But if I pull out a phone or a camcorder and I train it on you, it doesn't see you just fine. Your brain has a lot of software in it that automatically adjusts for human faces specifically, that take away a lot of the shadows and kind of smooth it out so it can read micro expressions. But the camera cannot do that. Even with all the AI we put into these things, it still doesn't really do that. It'll screw it up. So you need to give it the most amount of light as possible so that you can look okay. Like you can actually express and emote correctly to your camera. So lots of light. I have all the lights on in here. If you are in your dorm room and doing this and you have a desk lamp, turn it on. So like I can do that with this thing right here. And turn on, gets light back, go on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Right. One more light. It's a little desk light. It's the overhead projector light. So I got everything I can possibly have on. Now, the next thing is, on your phones, not Dr. Sam. All right, here we go. Yeah, there we go. On your phones, the two cameras are different. Come on, turn. It's not detecting that I'm doing this. Anyway, fine. The two cameras are different. The rear-facing camera that you can have pointing at you isn't as good as the front-facing camera is. This camera is a lot better. They're designed that way, because generally this is the one that's designed for like photography, so I hold it landscape mode, and mine's got even all these sorts of cool things, like mine has optical image stabilization that's like mechanical in nature, so actually it really does a good job. So this is the camera I would want to use to record for a podcast, rather than having the back-facing camera in that mode. This one will look better. The tone's a little bit more rich and everything too, you can see that. So I want to have that at eye level for wherever it is I'm doing this podcast. Also, I don't know why this won't turn sideways, but I literally did this last semester. And like my battery died in this thing, and it just blanked my phone, and it's not been right since. So annoying. So I've got here a stack of boxes. They're just boxes, so I could bring this up a little higher to get it more eye level. And I got a mirror, and I can use that mirror to kind of like look at the phone, so I can see what's going on in this phone. I can actually see reflecting off this mirror. What does it kind of look like? You probably have a small mirror, or even a large one. It's useful to get a feel for what does it look like when this thing's about eye level, which is about there. What does that look like? Now you can see it up here on my display, over the display. So I can get this thing up here. I can get it about eye level, like so. Come on, you. All right. I'm gonna use I have a rock here. Okay. Come on. Luckily, I have two mirrors. That was the second one. Ha ha! Planned ahead. Okay, there. All right, so this really helps get things positioned correctly. You want to have this up because I don't want to look up your nose. I want this up at about eye level. I'm trying to be in the center of that camera. And you can see that in the overhead here. I'm about right. And I need to have a thing to talk about. You want 2 minutes of content. But you still need time before and after you press the record button. Especially because you're probably going to press record and then set it up here and then deal with it. But I also don't mind having something like a little 8 timer. This is my nice little 8 timer. You can use to time eggs, but also like how long have I gone. It's a very useful item to have. You can also use things like bookends, this is like a geode. I can use that to kind of stabilize the phone, lock it in place. Hold that phone in place. There we go. There we go. Nice and heavy. It's just, and I'm just using a bunch of boxes. Like, this is not special equipment. This is just crap that you might have laying around. So books, boxes, your computer case, or the cardboard box that came in, or whatever, random cardboard boxes you find. They all work really well. Because all we really want to do is get that phone up without having to buy any equipment. It's enough that you have to buy external media for this class as it is. I don't want you to have to buy anything more. So this camera is going to be the better camera. It's going to look better on the recording and everything. So then, you need 2 minutes of content. What are you going to talk about? Talk about you. Talk about you. Talk about yourself for 2 minutes. But write it first. Just some notes. Who are you? What are you doing here? When are you expecting to graduate, or when did you come here? If you're a freshman now, maybe you were a freshman last year. What is it that you're studying? Why SUNY Cortland? Are you looking forward to any internships, which you really want to be looking forward to internships? Right? Make some notes. Little bulleted list is all you really need, but man, does it help to write it down first and write it physically with your hand. You're trying to engage as many of your senses as possible. You're trying to use as much of your brain as possible when learning something, because it'll engage more of your memory. You can remember more of it. You become more capable of it. This is why physical note-taking is really good. Mind you, recording your professor is not a bad idea either. You're allowed to do that. I would tell you guys you can do that in all my video classes. It's great. It works very well. You can remember what people said, but honestly, you are ready to do this project this weekend. Set aside some time. Make sure you can be in a light, quiet environment. You want to be as well lit as you possibly can. You want to utilize things like a desk lamp to get some more light in there. You want to turn all the lights on. You don't want any fans running. You don't want your roommate crashing around in the background. We want as much as possible to produce this well. And that includes using the other side of the camera, not the me facing one, but the you facing one. So that is your homework for this weekend. I would suggest recording 3 minutes of stuff, because you're going to have a lot of
Yeah,
we can cut that out. 2-minute podcast. Yes.
How do I not allow?